Hello dear students, welcome back to lecture 3 and the last lecture of the chapter Reproduction in Organisms. Today we'll be dealing with the two topics. One is fertilization and the next is post-fertilization events. I hope you all know what is fertilization. Yes, the fusion of the male and the female gamete. This is often also called syngamy. You can see in bold it is written syngamy. So after the two gametes, the male gamete and the female gamete, they fuse, what is formed is a zygote, which is a single cell. Every organism starts its life from this single diploid cell that is called zygote. Now, very important, students, I have highlighted in the yellow. This portion is very important, students. Here is a term called parthenogenesis. Now you know that for a new organism to form, the male gamete and the female gamete has to fertilize and form zygote, and from that zygote it will form a new organism. However, there are certain organisms where, remember, where the female gamete alone can grow into a new organism. Remember this, the female gamete alone can grow into a new organism. This is called parthenogenesis. Parthenogenesis can be widely found in rotifers. Rotifers are some microscopic zooplanktons. Then we have honeybees and even some lizards and birds. I'll be talking in details about how honeybees give rise to, you know that in a beehive there are three kinds of honeybees: the worker bees, the drones, and the queen. The drones are actually formed by parthenogenesis. The drones, the males that are present in a beehive, the drones, they are formed by parthenogenesis. That means the female gamete alone develops into a new organism. Next, now when does this fertilization of syngamy occur? In case of external fertilization, the two gametes they meet outside the body of an organism. In case of external fertilization, the two gametes they unite outside the body of the organism. That is called external fertilization. Generally in water. It occurs in fishes, it occurs in amphibians, it occurs in some lower plants, the bryophyte, the algae. But in case of internal fertilization, the gametes unite inside the body of an organism, and the body is of female. When it is internal fertilization, the fusion of the gametes they occur within the body of the female, and the organism grows there until it is fully developed, and then it is parturition is done. So these two things come under fertilization, that is internal and external fertilization, and the definition of fertilization, and the most important is the term parthenogenesis. Now let's come to the post-fertilization events. So once fertilization has occurred, the single cell that is formed is called zygote. Yes or no? Once fertilization has occurred, the single cell that is formed is the zygote, and this zygote actually undergoes cell division, continuous cell division, and gives rise to the new organism. So that is what is called embryogenesis. That is the mechanism of formation of an embryo, not mechanism, the process of formation of an embryo. That is embryogenesis. In embryogenesis, two things occur. One is the cell division and one is the cell differentiation. By cell division, the organism grows in size. From a single cell to multicellular cell, the organism grows in size by cell division. And by cell differentiation, new tissues, new organs, the cells become specialized, the tissue becomes specialized, and they take up different functions. So cell division and cell differentiation leads to the formation of an embryo, and the process is called embryogenesis. Now you know that once the organism is fully formed, once the embryo is fully developed, and once a fetus is fully developed, that has to be parturited, that has to come outside the body of the female. And if the female give birth to babies, that is called viviparous. Those organisms are called viviparous organisms. Viviparous organisms give birth to live offsprings. And in case of oviparous organisms, they lay eggs. In case of oviparous organisms, as the example of birds, as example of reptiles, they lay eggs, and the eggs and the eggs are covered by one a shell that is called calcareous shell. The eggs of fishes, the eggs of amphibians are not covered by any shell, but the eggs that are laid in the terrestrial environment, the eggs of reptiles, the eggs of birds, they have a hard calcareous shell. Calcareous means the shell is made of calcium carbonate. It is laid in a safe environment and it is incubated. It has to be given certain period of warmth by the mother. It has to be incubated before the young ones they mature and they hatch out from the egg. So those are oviparous organisms, and in viviparous organisms they give birth to live babies, or the live organisms, babies organisms, or the offsprings. Now you know that after the fertilization, in case of plants, after fertilization has occurred, that means when the male gamete has fused to the female gamete, the male gamete is present in the pollen grain, the female gamete is present in the ovule. So when fertilization has occurred, after fertilization, the ovary of the flower, it turns into fruit. Okay, and the ovule inside the ovary turns into seed, and the wall of the ovary turns into the fruit wall that is called pericarp. Here in this diagram, students, you can find something called P, some letter, one letter P and one letter S. P stands for the pericarp and S stands for the seed. Seed actually develops from the ovule and pericarp is developed from the wall of the ovary. That's all for this chapter, students. I hope you have understood. If you have any problem, you can directly text message me, you can directly send your queries in my WhatsApp, in my email also. And after this, as I've end this chapter, I'll be providing you a link for online quiz. Very soon I'll be providing this. Okay students, thank you.